Welcome to 5-Minute Mediumship and welcome to 2020. Happy New Year to you all. In this video, I'd like to share with you an exercise that you can use if you're stuck in a particular aspect of your mediumship to understand the mental or the emotional limitation or issue that's actually preventing you from moving forward through that particular restriction. You can use, and it's with colour. I'm, as you know, a huge fan of working with colour because it's actually, for me, a living, moving, breathing energy. It has a vibration. We have a bright vibration, so it actively and works with us to really enable us to dig down, move into the colour, and actually gain information from it. So this is an exercise that you can use when you're working with a partner in a development group. And it's really of use, particularly if there's an aspect of your mediumship which you seem to be stuck with and you seem to be going round in circles with. Now, with all of our mediumship, it's always evolving, it's always progressing, it's always changing, and only you know whether you are going through a natural process of change within your mediumship or whether you seem to be getting stuck. Perhaps you want to progress, you want to gain more information in a particular way or a particular type of information, and you know that that's possible within your mediumship, but for some reason it doesn't actually happen like that. And often it's actually the limitations that we have within ourselves. It's usually a mental block or an emotional block. And it's a restriction we have within our own mind, within our own emotions, that's actually preventing us from opening the door to that aspect of progression. Very often it's linked to our own self-development, our own personal development. So perhaps pushing through an aspect of an issue, a problem within our mediumship is actually going to cause us to look at an issue or a problem within our personal lives. So this exercise really is very specific. Work with it with a partner. You're going to do a link as you would usually. Before you start, I want you to allow a colour to come to mind for you. And then as you work with this particular link, as you start to move into the full energy of the contact as they're blending with you, feel yourself and allow yourself to really move into the flow of the communication. And then when you get to the point where you are really stuck, you can't seem to progress, perhaps you're reaching for that piece of information, you're trying to push yourself that little bit further as you do, but you keep coming round into this holding pattern where you can't quite seem to grasp that next level of information in the particular area you're looking for. I want you to allow this colour to come into mind, and I want you to allow it to build up in your mind's eye. Now, whatever colour you've chosen, I want you to move through the ranges of that colour. So, for instance, if it's a red, I want you to move through from a really light red to a really deep red. And as you're working, you'll still have the contact with you and you'll still be working with your partner. But I don't want you to concentrate on the actual communication at this particular point in time. The contact will stay with you and they'll come forward again as you move through this. But this is actually about understanding yourself. So as you move and as you allow this colour to move within you, I want you to be aware of how you feel emotionally, and I want you to be aware of where you're blocking yourself mentally. And as you work and just allow the feeling or the idea and the understanding to come to mind, I don't want you to move through it at that particular point in time. I then want you to go back to the communicator. Don't worry or think about the information that you're trying to get that you can't. I want you to move back to the communicator and I want you to finish the communication as you would normally. So as you finish the communication, When you have a moment to yourself, I then want you to sit with that colour again. I want you to sit with the awareness of the emotion or the awareness of the thought that it brought to mind. I don't want you to worry about your mediumship, because it isn't an issue with your mediumship. It's an issue within your own energy, within your own emotions, within your own mental energy. And it's that understanding and that awareness that will clear the pathway in terms of your mediumship. So when you next work with mediumship, you should find it easier to move deeper into that aspect of communication that you're feeling stuck with, that you want to get clearer on. What you will need to do though is look at, understand, heal, accept, release whatever the limitation, whatever the emotional or the mental area block that's actually preventing you from doing that. So you will need to look at that from a self-development perspective. And it's important to remember that a lot of the areas that we experience challenges with our mediumship can sometimes be mirrored by the challenges that we experience within our own energy, within our own life. So do try that. Let me know how you get on, and I really hope it helps you.